Buddhadhamma, Chapter 5, Law of Kamma, page 458, Rebirth. Many scholars claim for ordinary people to believe in the law of kamma and to establish a moral conduct. They must accept the fruitation of kamma over the longest span of time, from one birth to the next. They go on to say that for this reason, one must prove the truth of rebirth, or at least show some sustaining evidence for rebirth. With this objective, or simply to seek knowledge, scholars and other interested in individuals have tried to explain the teaching of kamma and rebirth by citing specific principles like the law of conservation of energy, connecting them to the mental activity of volition, or they have cited various psychological doctrines. Alternatively, they have sought evidence to prove the validity of recollection of past lives, or even engage in ceremonies invoking the spirits of the deceased. It is beyond the scope of this book to describe these explanations in detail. For those readers interested in these matters can look into the reference cited above. Here only some relevant observation ideas will be presented in this subject. It is a very reasonable premise that by proving to people the legitimacy of rebirth and of the next life, of the way in which kamma bears fruit in the long term, many practical benefits will ensue. If people believe in rebirth and the long-term fruits of intentional actions, they are likely to be receptive to the teachings on morality, to fear wrongdoing, and to undertake good deeds. Those people who put forth this premise are generally well-intentioned, and there need not be any problems for them to continue their research. Others can applaud their efforts insofar as the research is connected to reason, arguments, and facts. One only need be aware that such research does not deviate into the path of gullibility, superstition, or misunderstanding. Examples of misguided research include, rather than clarifying mysterious matters, one enshrouds clearly verifiable matters in mystery and secrecy, or rather than empowering people by drawing upon the mysteries of the universe, one makes people more impotent by having them become dependent on external things. Sound research can benefit academic studies in these matters. Having said thus, the sort of research should be left for those scholars who have a particular interest in it. People need not get caught up in this activity. They can be kept informed of the proven research or the particular developments in the field from a distance as an interested party. To wit, one should refrain from leading people into an obsession with this subject. Likewise, scholars and researchers should not become overly preoccupied with past and future lives, to the extent of being biased and trying simply to prove the authenticity of other lifetimes, which takes importance away from the present moment. It becomes a form of extreme view. One needs to recognize both the advantages and disadvantages of giving significance to this matter. If one overemphasizes it so that people excessively fear being born into an unhappy existence and crave to be born in a pleasant realm, this is tantamount to driving them to expect the desired future results. They will then only take an interest in those activities that are linked into reaping personal benefits in the future lifetimes, and they will neglect those benefits and blessings that human beings should reach in this lifetime. If one is not circumspect and careful, the original aim of the teaching people to fear the adverse effect of bad kamma, to reassure them that their good deeds now will bear fruit even into the future lifetime, and to trust in the law of kamma, leads to the unrestrained pursuit for personal advantages in the next life. This generates greed and causes people to perform meritorious deeds as a form of profiting or profiteering. An overemphasis on the positive and negative fruits of karma experienced in future lifetimes also has an adverse effects in creating this regard for the training in the love of truth, the Dhamma Chanda, or the love of goodness, Kusala Chanda. This is form of rejection or condemnation of human beings' abilities by claiming that people cannot abstain from evil or do good as the consequence for aspiring towards a pure and sublime. Instead, they only abstain from evil and do good out of greed and desire for personal rewards. They neglect to cultivate love of truth and goodness in a genuine way. Although there is a lot of logic in the claim that if one provides clear evidence to people for truth of rebirth, they will believe in it and be well established in moral conduct. Yet to actually wait for people to develop such moral conduct only after they see the evidence unreasonable. This is because the if in the above sentence indicates that one cannot be sure when one will be able to fully succeed at proving this truth to others. Strictly speaking, one cannot validly use the expression provide clear evidence. In regard to this matter, because one is able to reveal the rebirth of one's person to another. Rebirth is something that one must know and realize for oneself. The expression provide clear evidence here simply refers to finding testimonials about rebirth and analyzing the facts. The heart of this matter corresponds to the imponderables, achintaya in Pali. One is unable to comprehend this matter by way of logic and reasoning. It is beyond the scope of ordinary understanding. No matter how much evidence one provides on the subjects to ordinary people, it remains on the level of faith or belief. The only difference between people is some may disbelieve while others believe, or some may believe more than others. And this being the case, there will remain those people who disbelieve. Even those believers may harbor doubt or skepticism. And those people who disbelieve also remain on the level of belief. That is, they believe that rebirth does not exist. They have not yet gained a clear understanding of this matter. Doubt and suspicion remains until one has done away with all doubt by realizing stream entry, sotapanna. In some, the acceptance to present reasoned explanation and testimonials about rebirth to people can be beneficial. If such attempts do not conflict with other key Buddhist principles, for instance, if they do not make people dependent on external powers or lead them to seek help from mysterious forces, but the claim that practicing the law of Dhamma or living the life in harmony with Buddhist principles requires proof regarding the matter of rebirth is unsuitable and incorrect.